back it in so I can begin.
Okay, back it up, back it. Okay, what's it?
There's a story about that. That's Marvin, my friend Marvin Steifelhagen, and he is building the transport. And my friend Marvin is very, very, very patient with a lot of things. He's like, he even preaches us about patience and not jumping to conclusions when it comes to kit parts and stuff like that. But when it comes to him building this transport, oh boy, my buddy is so impatient. I get a lot of packages at my house, and he is excited for me to send them to him so that he can start building things. When normally he's very, 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 oh, I can do it then. I'll get it done then. I'll get it done. So he sent me that little voice mail one day. Yeah. So I had my friend Aaron, who did all the video and thumbnail and stuff, added into our intro, and it's been beautiful ever since. I love it. Makes me laugh every time.
That's funny. Yeah. I miss all your buddies, watching all you guys on the show, but at least them not being on, I'm not as intimidated because sure, I've got a lot of models, but man, the knowledge that all you bastards have, man, it's just crazy shit, dude. I love it. And I want to say congratulations, Chris, on this show, because this is, it's a breath of fresh air, man. It's original, and it's just really nice, man, watching all you guys. It's just a bunch of guys having fun, building models and getting ideas, and I love it. I love what you guys are doing.
Thanks, brother. I appreciate it. It's been a lot of fun. It's been in the beginning it was a lot of work, but lately it's just been, the Facebook group has basically taken on a life of its own. A lot of guys who are on there are feeding it and nurturing it and doing things. Like, in all honesty, the whole point of this group and the videos was, I've said this probably a million times, and I'm sure whoever's going to listen to this is probably like, I've heard this a bazillion times, but the old days of the RPF, right, where everybody was getting along and everybody was helping each other and everybody was, sharing ideas and sharing information and building things together, swapping parts, has been missing in the studio scale modeling community in a long time. There's been a lot of bad blood. There's been a lot of arguing, and I really wanted this to be a place where people can come and just enjoy the hobby and not get all worked up and just, hopefully it stays like that. I've taken a couple strides to make that stay the way it is. And everybody on the group's been pretty freaking great. Like, there's even guys who,
I wouldn't worry about it.
Yeah, there's even guys who do things behind the scenes who aren't on there. Look at me. I want to credit for helping everybody. They're doing it behind the scenes. I don't even know about it. I hear about it later on from other people. That's I love that. Simmons and I, we're attention whores. We like to show our stuff off all the time. But but yeah, it's been great. And you know what? I'm excited to have you on a little bit more. You share the same passion that we do. You're like one of, I can't tell you, there's so many people who I talk to about you, and we say all kinds of terrible shit about you every day. But,
yeah, right. I love it.
No, but we always say like a lot of guys like Jason and John and I don't know, Marvin knows too much about you, but that you're like this kid in a candy store. You get so excited for every model. It's like back in the 70s when you got the new figure, how excited, you know what I mean? So that passion is, I was talking to Jason tonight about it. And we were talking about, how excited I was the kid in the cul-de-sac had the brand new not Boba Fett, the brand new Gamorrean Guard figure. And I was like, oh, like,
Yeah.
and as soon as I got
those very, I don't mean to cut you off. Those are the very same memories that a lot of us have, is like that Gamorrean Guard. I remember going over, and this kid's mom always went to the store. Like, it's almost like that was her thing. And he'd come home from school, and I remember when he had the new Yoda, and I was like, what the I want that. I wanted it.
Yeah. And my brother for his birthday got, it was a little, I guess it was a little jealousy too. My brother for his birthday got to pick out a ship he wanted for his birthday, and he ended up picking out Slave One, right? And I never had Slave One until I was 40 years old. And what's that?
I said mint in the box too, right?
Yeah, it's mint in the box. That's true. It's sealed, mint in the box, and graded.
Yeah.
But like, that's why that reason there is why I love my model that I built of the Slave One. Like, that's why I love it. That's the ships are like huge to me. They're more to me than the characters were.
Yeah.
So, but like, you have something in the background there I covet, and I've coveted for a very long time.
Yeah, I love this. This is one of the rare pieces that are actually in my house.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to put it in your face a little bit because I know that you hate it so much. That's funny.
One day I'll get to see it. One day I'll come to your house. I'll get to see it in person.
Anytime.
Honestly, it's one of the pieces that are out there that people have built. Like, Jason Eaton built that, and it is honestly one of the grail pieces that I look at and like. Yeah, like, to me, that's like a pinnacle piece that I have seen somebody build.
Yeah, very original, and it's just badass. What's crazy is it was off of a rendering, and it's the first time to see a practical McQuarrie piece, kind of like the AT-AT that you just built for me. I'm really excited for that, right now, to get that, because it's very similar to this,
Yeah. It actually has a lot of the same design. So when I was building mine and yours, I didn't really see much of an AT-AT there. I saw like a sandcrawler more than an AT-AT.
Me too.
And I used a lot of the parts from this that are on the sandcrawler, as kit parts for it. A lot of them, actually. You'll see a lot of similarities when you get yours. I have to finish the little figures, and I have to put snow on it, and then it's ready to ship to you. Yeah.
So cool.
And you'll be able to drive it around.
Yeah, that's badass. I'll do that one time probably. Do you drive yours around a lot or no?
I drove it once.
Yeah.
One time. Yeah. Eaton and I are supposed to have a race at WonderFest this coming year. He's building one too.
Very cool.
We're gonna race. I'm just gonna ram mine into his. Mine's acrylic. His is 3D print. His will snap.
Hey, well, not to throw you too high on the pedestal. I just want to say one thing about you, Chris. And I think when you first started this show, I was on here with you, and just seeing how far that you've come as a modeler, and not just as an artist and as a guy that builds the models, and your knowledge, of course. But it's crazy to see on the level that you're at, and the respect that you've gained in the modeling community. And especially now, I think it's cool that all your buddy Simmons and you and Jason and all these other guys hop on, because we all were clinging to modeler magic, and I know that it still exists, and I've never really had a chance to dive into that one much. Is it still around, by the way? Is it modeler magic? It's still there.
It's still there, but it's really filled with a lot of advertisements. It's hard to navigate because every time you go on it, you get blasted by pop-ups and advertisements and stuff.
Are people still putting up new content on there though?
I couldn't tell you. I honestly don't know. Nobody that I know, like John Simmons and Marvin, they haven't told me that they ever do anymore. So
yeah, I remember. I remember being in talks big time with Kurt, and I remember you were even interested when Kurt can no longer do it, and I don't think I was up for the task. Everybody knows that I am not a techie person whatsoever, and I didn't want it to be sitting dormant. But whoever has it now, I hope that they're doing well with it, because I learned a lot from that channel, from that site.
Even I still try to find reference pictures on there, and I'll Google it, and it's hard to navigate. There's so much.
Gotcha.
I don't know what's happened to it. I don't know why it's gotten to that point. But yeah, Modular Magic was the beginning. Well, maybe not the beginning, but that was the early form of this. And before the RPF, wasn't even before the RPF.
I think so. And Kurt, it was absolutely one of the first ones that I know he was like me back then, back in the day, he wasn't a builder. He was a lot like me that, was just purchasing and having, finding all people like you guys, to build this type of stuff, I remember seeing, and you probably remember it too, but I remember seeing, he had got all of the, I think Mark Elkins built all of the red leaders, so that was really cool. So well, I don't think we told anybody, but you and I were just talking on the phone, and we're like, screw it, let's just do a show, because I have had a hard time finding time to do a show because of my job, and I am actually in freaking goddamn Seattle, completely. That's how you said that. That's funny.
In the other side of the country. I live in Pennsylvania, and I am in Seattle doing work, and I'll be here for the next 2 days. And I'm like, I'm not a nightlife person, so I'm ready for bed at 9, 10 o'clock. So I'm not going out drinking or anything like that. So let's just do a show and get on and talk about some cool shit.
Yes. Sounds really good. Let my cat staring at me in real fast. Stand by real quick.
All right, brother.
Yeah, pull it.
Is that a Labradoodle?
It is. It's a golden doodle.
Golden doodle. What's up, Jerry? How's it going, brother? Nice to see you watching. Yeah, I don't know if can you hear me?
Me?
Yeah.
I can hear you. I can hear you fine.
So, did you see what the name of the show is tonight?
No. What is it?
It's called Shootin the Ships, Badass.
Oh, my man. Oh, that's cool, dude.
That's cool. John knew of you, and he didn't really know your name, couldn't remember your name, but he's always like, oh, that guy Badass. He got the Star Destroyer. That guy Badass. He got this, and that guy Badass. He couldn't remember your name for the life of him. But you're known as Badass because you say it all the time on your other show.
I didn't have to put on my shirts. That's funny.
Yeah. Well, I gotta get some shirts out, brother. I gotta get off my ass and do it, because I think I was talking to somebody the other day. I love the logo of Nerf Herders. I absolutely love it, and I think it would look so cool in a hat or. Yeah, it's badass.
Yes.
So if you don't know who this is, right? I'm sure a lot of people in the modeling community do know who you are. This is Michael Hawes, Starkiller 77, right?
That's right. That's right.
And you have a lot of great videos on YouTube showing each one of your models. And most people know you for your gallery, right?
Yep.
And you have some badass freaking models in your collection.
Thank you.
How long have you been collecting them?
Man. So on the actual studio models, I've been collecting. How long have I known you, Chris, now?
Well, we'll go back the beginning of in the beginning of Rogue One days.
That's right.
Before you started Collection Wars.
Yeah.
We started talking a little bit.
Yeah.
And then you guys went on Collection Wars, and
I'd say realistically, I've been collecting studio models for about 10 years.
Okay.
Maybe a little bit longer, but I would say realistically 10 to 12 years now.
Okay. I've been doing this models now 3 years.
Yeah.
Before that, I was on Rogue One doing collectibles like Regal Robot and stuff like that. But then I got to a point where I was like, all right, I don't really want to put this statue on my shelf. Like I want to build these things and learn about the backstory and how they were built. Because I'll tell you what, I didn't even know that these ships were built with model the model parts until 3 years ago, and my mind was blown away when I first heard that. I was just like, "What? Are you kidding me?"
I remember having the talks with you because you had already built your Falcon, and I was very impressed with your Falcon. I remember saying, "Dude, you could be building these things for people." I remember talking about like if you ever, and it's cool because I'm finally going to have a piece of yours in the gallery, But
it's been like 5 years, and I haven't built one for you.
I know, what the hell, about time.
That's because Joseph takes up too much of my time, right? He's hoarding me, Yeah.
It's bullshit. It's a bunch of bullshit because I hook him up with these certain people and he ends up taking half of my commission time away. I'm like, what the hell? but he does say me and him are very respectful, obviously, with how we are with our stuff. Cause like Salzo will build something for me and then for him. But I always say, let me be real clear, dude. I'm letting him build for you right now, but I'm just one guy. So, but
Joseph I actually wanted to get together with him here in Seattle, but it's 3 hours. He lives 3 hours from where I'm at, and our schedules aren't going to meet up. But I'd love to just, Jerry. I remember meeting up with you for the first talk. Not meeting up, but starting talking to you. We first started talking about the hospital ship, the first scratch build I made, and I think that's the first time Jerry and I started talking.
Nice.
He was sending me IDs and stuff.
Yeah, you got a good memory.
No, I have a terrible memory, dude. Listen.
I do too.
My wife could ask me what I did 5 minutes ago, and I wouldn't remember. But I could tell you exactly what kit part is on every piece of the sand crawler and how big. It's ridiculous. Like, I remember things I want to remember, not things that, did you take out the trash? Oh, I can't remember if I did that or not. Like sometimes I can't remember that I went in the room to fight to get something, and I walk in the room and I'm like, what am I in this room for? Like, it's terrible.
Yeah.
But modeling, I don't forget much.
Do you have a memory, Chris, is in the time frame that you've been into models? Do you have a memory, like what do you, I don't want to put you on the spot here, but like a favorite memory of like, holy shit moment, like a pinch me moment?
Honestly, two moments. First one would be Celebration Europe, where we had John Con. So John Con started as John wanted to get a table at Celebration. Okay. But for some reason they wouldn't let him do it.
Right.
And I'm like, well, we could do our own little convention outside. I said, we'll call it John Con because it was going to be mostly his pieces. And just meeting up with everybody and then sitting in the parking lot underneath the Celebration Convention Hall, there was a parking lot, and we sat in a parking spot checking out Felix. He was scratch building a Slave One. Mm-hmm. We were literally sitting in a parking space under the Celebration, just sitting there looking at this thing, talking models. It was one of those moments where it was like, this I'll remember forever, right?
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. And then there was another pinch me moment where, well, there's one I can't talk about, but this one I wish I could talk about, but I just can't. When I was at WonderFest, and a bunch of people came up to my hotel room to look at my models. Like I had a bunch of them up there because I didn't take all of them down, and I got Joseph and a bunch of other people, and Bill George is up there, right, in my hotel room, and I'm like, this is a guy that I idolize, right, and I think about as like Mount Rushmore kind of island model maker, right, and he's in my hotel room checking out my models, okay. And then I pull out the Dornian, okay, which John Simmons had made and I bought from him. And I pull it out and I set it down and he's looking at it. Like he's kind of just looking at it. And stupid me, I say to him, yeah, this is the Dornian from the Return of the Jedi. He goes, yeah, no, I built it. Just like, what? You built that for the movie? He's like, yeah, I built that for the movie. And then I was just like asking him all kinds of questions and had him sign the plaque for me. And yeah, those are the two that stick out for me the most. And you know what? They don't have anything to do with things that I've made or things that I've personally done. It is about getting to know the people at WonderFest, getting to know the guys at Celebration, John and Marvin and Jason and Eaton and Bill George and all those people and Quincy is one of the guys that I met and I was very impressed with. That's what this is for me. It's relationships that I build.
Yeah, it's
crazy. How about you?
It's kind of funny that you had mentioned WonderFest in a hotel room. It sounds kind of weirdo, kind of weird stuff. But
it's a little weird. Yeah.
At this WonderFest or Sausage Fest, a lot of people call it different things, but I will just say that the same thing. We were at WonderFest, and me and Joseph, and of course Eaton was in there. But we walk in this little studio room where it's Jason's room, and Mark Peterson's in there, and a couple of these other incredible model makers, including the guy that built the medical frigate and stuff. And I had already purchased it at the time, and I was just sitting in there, and me and him are sitting against the wall, and me and Lauren, and we're talking about the certain ships, and I showed him a picture of the Star Destroyer, and he was looking at the details that Salzo did, and he was like, that's exactly, and we use this, and it blows all their minds on guys like you guys that they didn't even freaking know this shit. They didn't know. Like you could tell them if that's a Sherman so-and-so, they don't fucking know. You know what I mean? You guys do. Oh, you crazy bastards. But that was really crazy moment.
I'm not nearly as good as a lot of these other guys. I can do a little bit, but there are guys who blow me out of the water.
But you're not cocky about it. The thing, you're not arrogant, and that's the thing when I do the videos on my studio models, and I talk about models. I want to be real clear that to people know that I'm not a know-it-all at all. I've learned so much about scale and what is the true meaning of studio scale, and a lot of people still don't know what's a studio scale model, and a lot of people don't realize that when these people like Lauren and the team at ILM were building all these models, they weren't going really off of scale. They were just looking at it's about the same thing, and they were just building off of what they had, right? And
and all looks good.
Yes, and obviously they had to keep this kind of the same, but it was just how they end up using. I think a lot because a lot of the same models that they were kit bashing end up being the same for like because there's only on the 124 scale. There's the TIE, there's the X-wing, there's Slave One. What other 124 scale was? You know what I'm saying? So,
there's a couple. Yeah. I'll be honest with you, Mike. I don't pay attention to scale. I really don't. Like if somebody comes to me and says, "What scale is?" Like you asked me the other day at that ADA concept. What scale is it? I'm like, I don't know. It doesn't.
Jason's the
It
same
doesn't
way.
mean nothing to me. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't care about that.
Yeah.
I mean, studio scale to me is like it's what size they made for the movie, right? With the size that they made. But other people take it even further, like the same materials and the same kit parts and the same way of building it. And that's valid. That's completely valid.
Yeah.
But I don't at this point, I just don't care whether it's a studio scale or what size 124 it is. Let's give you a good example. Okay. So like the actual studio scale sized A-Wing cloud car, right?
Mhm.
Are very big models. They're actually pretty
those are
big,
the same scale. Yeah, they're huge.
right? I don't like them. I don't want that. I want a nice little cloud car. I want a nice little A-Wing. Like when I look at that ship, I look at it in comparison to like the Millennium Falcon, right? To me, the model of the A-Wing should be the same kind of size reference to the Millennium Falcon, right? And the X-Wing and the B-Wing, right? I guess that's 124 scale. That's probably
What's that?
The X-Wing and the B-Wing. Those are considered 124 scale. I guess my favorite size.
I think the B-Wing is actually a little smaller
Okay.
than either that or I don't think the actual B-Wing because they
Uh-oh. Did I lose signal? Nope. Mike? Something froze. Mike? Ruh-roh. Can you guys hear me, or is Mike completely frozen? Or is it me? What happened?
Yeah, are you there?
Yeah, can you hear me?
I can. I don't know if it was on my end, but just in case, I'm gonna move where I'm closer.
Okay.
Just 'cause sometimes it might cut out.
The
But
guys will
anyway-
tell us. Oh, they can hear me. You froze up. Mike is frozen.
Yeah, it's weird. I mean, it's because this is a rock wall, so all the way around,
Yeah.
so it keeps
It blocks. It does
does.
block that.
It does.
Ooh, that's a loud noise.
But anyways, but you can hear me good now. Everything's good. Yeah. So 132 scale. Yeah. See.
Yeah.
132.
Yeah. 132.
Yeah.
But like, that doesn't faze me. That like, I don't want a studio scale sized A-Wing. I want the nice little maquette. Like I look at an A-Wing and I think it's a smaller ship compared to like if I was to sit in it, right? Compared to like if I was to sit in a Millennium Falcon. Okay. I think of the A-Wing as a smaller ship, right? And I want a smaller version of that. Like I want a smaller version of the cloud car. I don't want my A-Wing to be as big as my Millennium Falcon, my 32-inch Millennium Falcon, right? That's just for me. That's how I look at it. But everybody has their own way of looking at things. Studio scale, a lot of people go by 124, 132, 164, or stuff like that. I don't. I build what I like, and whatever size it is, it is.
And when somebody asks me, "Hey, what's a studio scale?" I just say it's an actual scale of what they shot for the film. In the studio. That's the way I see it. So
yeah, the like even like okay, so we don't have to get into too much of this territory, but like 3D prints. I don't really know where to go with that. I don't know if you can really consider that studio scale unless you're going by based off of size alone. A lot of people don't. I personally don't like 3D printed, completely 3D printed. I'll take 3D prints of parts and add it, but I won't build a block of resin in a couple pieces and paint it. That's me. I'm not putting it down. If that's what you like to do, as long as you build a model and you like it and you're happy with it, it doesn't matter one bit what I think about studio scale. It matters not at all.
Well, it's only because you're looking at these things in the perspective of like Simmons and Eaton and I know Eaton nowadays does, but you know what I'm saying. You guys are looking at how they did it back in the day, and it's a much bigger challenge. And the funny thing is somebody like me that are, that is just like more of a collector and that looks at models. It's funny because a lot of people out there, they don't realize that, hey, they ask me all the time. And that was the hardest thing, is when people would reach out to me when I was getting really recognized in the model industry, is like, especially for the Star Wars stuff, it's like, where can I get these things? Where can I buy these kits and stuff? And a lot of people don't realize that, especially on my side of things, obviously you guys do, but these things don't come with instructions. I mean, when you get a model, it doesn't have instructions. A normal modeler is like, what the fuck do I do with this? You know what I mean? I got all these. So that's a whole other side of talent, to be able to just go off of, photographs and kit parts.
My first model was the Agostini Falcon, and that is a build by numbers. Like, there's instructions. You put this part in this spot, in this hole. It has pegs to go things in.
Yes.
My second one was the Sandcrawler, which that also had some instructions, but it was a lot of shaping and filling and boiling water over to get it.
Randy Cooper one.
Randy Cooper one. Yeah, it's a rough kit to build if you don't know what you're doing at all.
Right.
And then when I got the Slave One, I was like, what the hell do I do here? Like, that's what made me look at all the pictures and be like, okay, this piece lays on top of this piece plays on top of this piece. And I didn't even know all the pieces underneath, because I got an incomplete kit that was missing a lot of the kit parts underneath. So I only got, on Slave One, on the bottom, most of the parts are mirrored on both sides of the bottom, right? You have two of the same part in the same places mirrored. I only got one basically of each part, so I didn't even know that it needed a second one. I had no idea, and luckily I got a hold of some pictures of Salzo's in progress build. I don't even remember where I got them from. And I was like, oh, okay, that helped a lot,
Sure.
But the Slave One was my third model, and it was not easy. It was really rough.
I remember the time you took to get all the paint colors together and dealing with all the different people to get the paint colors. I remember all that shit. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's all from Guy Cohen. I took, honestly, I can't take any credit other than doing it. He had a formula that he put out on his page in some of his, and I followed his formula on how he did each step and each. I can't take any credit for that other than doing what he said, to do.
Nice.
But yeah, like both wings, both wing wells on both sides, they're painted completely different. Like there's a couple different techniques for one and a couple completely different techniques for the other. That's how crazy the Slave One paint job is. And I ended up doing it twice because I messed it up the first time. Like I just all of the scarring that's on the hull, the green and the gray, I painted it, right? And the first time I painted it, I didn't go dark enough with the green. So then when you missed it with the grime, then it's supposed to have a balance where it takes the green down to a lighter green and elevates the bluish gray to a like warm gray. And if you don't have that balance right, it's not one is darker than the other and it looks funny. So I had to go back and reapply all of that liquid latex all over that freaking thing. Twice. Oh my God. Tons of work. I don't want to do it again, but I'm going to do it again. So yeah.
And you guys are going to go to, you're going to be, you have a plan to be at WonderFest again this year for sure, right?
Yeah, I will definitely be at WonderFest this year.
Okay.
No doubt about it.
And have you announced what you're going to do there? I don't know. I haven't been.
Well, I'm bringing my finished Sandcrawler,
Which
I brought it last year, and it was it was all in kit parts, and the inside was finished.
Yeah, that's
the outside the outside's finished now, and I have to finish the tracks. The tracks will be done. If they're coming the beginning of January, and I'll start that. I want to do what's that?
That's incredible, man, to build that sumbitch. That's freaking amazing.
I love that thing.
Yeah, I love it too.
Oh, it is my pride and joy in my basement. It is so beautiful to look at. I didn't want to paint it because the kit parts are so beautiful.
Yeah.
But you know what? Like, it's so big in my room. It's like an elephant in the room. Like, it literally looks like an elephant in the room. And
you know what I would do?
What?
I don't mean to catch you up. I'm sorry, because it's kind of a delay. What I would do, and I think I told you this, maybe I didn't, but what I would do is I haven't seen how your display is on it. I'm sure it's badass, but I would absolutely get a badass wall plaque mount, and I would create the photos of it being built so you can see the actual kit parts standing out before the paint.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I would do that even for yourself because you would love to see those. You know what I mean? So
I did take photos of it so I could make prints.
Yeah. So you need to do a badass plaque that's
Yeah.
behind glass on a really nice mount that shows, you know, like a step 1 through 8, you know, from when you first started, you know what I mean? Just to really important times of when you finish that, you know what I mean?
Right.
That's what I would
do.
That'd be badass.
Let me show you something. I don't know if you've seen this. I'm gonna pull it up. I didn't make this. My friend Aaron made this.
Are you texting me? Or are you gonna show me?
No, I'm gonna text myself, and then I'm gonna put it up on the show so we can see this picture that Aaron had made for my thumbnail for the Sandcrawler show that I think is supposed to happen tomorrow. I gotta find out. All right, let's do this let's figure this out. Nope, not there. It's gonna pop up on my screen.
While that's popping up, I'm just gonna ask you like a yes or no question. Did you see Skeleton Crew?
I did.
And did you like it?
I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I thought, listen, I'm not, from the very beginning, I said, this is a kid show, right?
Yeah, it's not Star Wars.
It's not, it's not really Star Wars, but it has a lot more Star Wars to it than Acolyte did.
Yeah.
Where is that damn picture? My pictures are so out of whack on my folders. Anyway, it had more Star Wars to it than Acolyte did, and I enjoyed it. Like, it was fun. I looked at it from the very beginning as, this is a kid show. It's okay that it's goofy. It's okay that it's not, like, oh, there it is. That's what I'm looking for.
Some of the characters were pretty cool in there.
Yeah, I like them.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing how it turns out.
See if
the only thing that was kind of really hard is like the neighborhood with the streets and stuff. That
that was a bit.
Then you think about Luke on Tatooine and in the sand.
Yeah,
it's hard to throw that. It's like, I don't know, dude, but
that was a little rough.
Yeah, I keep it all separate, like I've talked about a million times. This is my little Star Wars, the 4, 5, and 6.
Let's see here. I don't know if I could do this with. I don't have 2 screens, so I haven't really played with pictures that well without my second screen. But
that looks.
Aaron made this thumbnail. Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
He made this thumbnail, and I don't know if you've taken notice to these shows that we have done called Modeling the Galaxy, where we take one ship, like the Sandcrawler, and we will go through everything, educate people on it, from concept to early buildings to sketches.
That's a great idea.
All the way to the filming miniature. We did Slave One, we did TIE Bomber. I think those are the only 2 we did. And Sandcrawler's next. So in every one of the thumbnails, what Aaron did is he took the model and merged it with the actual real model. So in the back there, you see it's being built, and in the front, it's the finished painted model.
Yeah.
But on this one, the problem was you can't see any kit parts on the front. Okay, like on the side, it's hard to see kit parts, and the majority of the cool kit parts are on the back and on the top. So I was like, do you think there's a way we could somehow show those kit parts? And at first he's like, yeah, I don't. Yeah, at first he was like, I don't know if that'll work, but then he came up with this, and it is freaking gorgeous.
Perfect.
Like,
so is this your actual model? Is that yours?
Yeah, that's mine. Yeah.
That's
well, the front is the actual real one.
Okay.
From the back with the pictures of the back and the top, those are mine.
Man, that's incredible. That's really cool.
He's magical when it comes to these fat thumbnails and videos that he does. But I actually thought about, these would be cool as prints. Like I don't know if anybody would be interested in them. I'm not looking to make money on them. I just think they're so cool, the way they look, that it's just such a cool idea. It's beautiful. I may do it one day where if somebody wants, something like this or like the Slave One, they turned out amazing. So I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do that.
By the way, hello Jerry and hello Scott. Are y'all doing okay? I don't know if I've met these guys before or not. I know a lot of faces.
I haven't met them in person. They're both on the Facebook group, dude. You need to get on the Facebook group.
I know, dude. Let me just put it this way: like on my dark side pizza, I've got 10,000 Instagram followers, and I just got Facebook 2 weeks ago. So I think I've got like 50 followers or something. I don't know. So yes, I need to get with it.
Yeah, you need to come on the Facebook group. There are so many great people on there just building such awesome things. And you know what? There's guys who are just starting, and there's guys who have been doing it forever that have come out of the woodwork, that weren't really on social media that much or posting that much. Yeah. And what's really cool is like Lauren Peterson is actually commenting on the group, it's
badass.
It's kind of mind blowing, and Bill George is on there too, like commenting and posting, showing stuff. It's a lot of fun. And, at first I was kind of a little worried how I would handle, like, everybody starts somewhere, right? Everybody starts somewhere, and you want to be constructive, but you also don't want to hurt somebody's feelings if something doesn't look very good in the beginning, and they, the more you do it, the more you learn, right?
That's right.
But it really hasn't been that at all. All the people on the group, even the people who do things for the first time, really come out in full force and done some amazing things, Yeah,
you were one of them. You were one of them. I just don't like me. I've just never been. I'm the guy that thinks it up. I'm a visionary. I see things and I want them. Like the models. I want these models, and that and my dad was big into it, but I just never. I don't know if it's the patience. Obviously you've seen. I've done. Like dioramas, and I build the display stands and the galleries, and I can do all that stuff. But man, just the details of what you guys do, I don't think I'm that guy, is what I'm saying. And yeah, Scott, I don't know if you saw the recent videos of the medical frigate. But
is it fixed?
It's not. So Jim's coming down in the first week of January, this next month. He was supposed to come down on the 3rd of December, but so the guy doesn't fly. So he's going to end up driving over here and spend a week. Luckily, all the parts, I have them spread out really nice on a black table, and 98% of all the parts are clean breaks. You know what I mean? So they're not like in half,
Yeah. Dude, I told you my sandcrawler fell off my table, didn't I?
You did. So
I saw it rolling off. Go ahead. Sorry.
Oh my gosh, dude. So Scott,
I watched it. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to tell him what he's saying. So we had it secured. I've got this video and it's gone viral. 15 people like to see bad shit happen, I guess. I don't know. But we have this thing secured in the gallery in a stud with these plumber, cast pieces. And it was basically a shaft, a male shaft, and the medical frigate would slide on, and then it would actually hold the weight just from that. But we did have another little piece. But what had happened is when we drilled small holes into the wood screws through the studs into the stud. But we think what happened is the top stud, it just caught the outside of the stud a little bit. So this thing sat in there for a good 4 months. And what had happened is that shaft started slowly coming down, and I used Vaseline when we put that model on. So it kind of was slowly coming out of the wall, and I didn't notice it because I'm not in the gallery that often. So I came in there one Friday evening, and I had just gotten the Battlestar Galactica Viper that Mike Salzo. It's a 2-foot Viper, badass, and I had it sitting underneath it. But that thing just completely slid off the wall onto the ground. And how the bottom of the frigate, and the little feather shield things didn't snap off. It was a miracle. But seeing the literally hundreds of parts on the ground, dude, I was sick. I was like, F this shit, dude. I'm like $100,000 model on the ground, and people like, you need a wife or you need a girlfriend, you spend $100,000. And then, so I should have never said $100,000 model, because people don't understand what I meant by that. But the thing is, no. I wanted to just quit. I was done. I didn't want another model in my life. I was just sick. I just was sick because
I can honestly tell you that the medical frigate is one of probably the model of every single Star Wars model that I could not imagine dropping and not just completely just being destroyed. There's so many tiny little pieces of styrene and triangles sticking out and all kinds of antennas sticking out, and it's just there's pieces everywhere sticking all over the place.
Well, I don't know how you build, but one thing that I did learn from Mike, and I remember Mike has told me, and I think maybe even Jason, but Jim said this. He said, so the reason that most of all those pieces that are on the ground didn't break in half or snap is because we use very little glue when we put these pieces on. So I don't know how you built your Sandcrawler, or how you normally build, because I don't know many people say, hey, don't use a lot of glue. I mean, that's what are you building? Just might determine how much glue that you use. But luckily, most of all the pieces that you see, laid out on that table, they're intact. He goes, luckily, he remembers, he said, luckily for you, I remember where every piece goes on that model. And I'm like, holy shit, that's badass.
I with something like that, with the kit parts and stuff, I used a weld. So everything is solid on there.
Yeah, because you said yours fell, didn't it? And it didn't break, or it did?
Mine, I was painting it, the one side, and I don't know what happened. I just lifted it a little. It was tilted, so I could get it. I could see it, so I'm not face up. It was facing tilted, so I could paint it. And then all of a sudden, I shifted it, and it just rolled off the edge. And I grabbed a hold of it to try to grab it, but I sort of didn't grab it real hard because I didn't want to break anything off, right? I thought I could grab it and it would stop rolling. Nope, it just rolled off of the table, 4 feet down onto the ground.
Were you in the kitchen, or where were you? Where were you building?
It was in my garage. Luckily it rolled.
Motherfucker.
Oh my God. I'm sure the whole neighborhood heard me scream bloody murder. Okay?
Oh man, I bet.
Luckily, okay, so it landed completely on its top. Okay. And when I saw it fall, I'm like, every single kit part is probably destroyed. like
all the
just
inside
shattered.
pieces. What about all the little Jawas and all the inside cool shit?
Oh, that luckily, okay, isn't glued as well. Okay, so it just came off. It didn't break. It just fell off. Like the impact made the glue just like come off.
Yeah.
But all the kit parts on top, I knew were solid. And I thought to myself, when I saw it laying on its top, I'm like, I screamed bloody murder. And I'm looking at it. I'm like, there's no way I can rebuild this thing. Right. I'm just thousands of dollars in kit parts. Like it, because every single part of there was no cast pieces on this thing. The top, the back, outside, everything was from a model kit. Every single piece.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at it. I'm like, what do I do? What the hell do I do? Right. So I turn it over, and luckily, nothing broke on it except like the seams where like the sides would be, cornered and glued together. They just came apart. So I literally had that back together in a half an hour. And the only thing I really shattered was the windows in the front, the little window frames, because the front of it slopes up. So it landed on that, and there's no like bracing there. So all the little pieces of styrene just crunched and broke.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I needed to fix. Everything else I just glued back down, glued back together, and I saw my life flash before me. I watched it roll in slow motion going off the table, and I was like,
you still wake up in cold sweats and go, what the fuck? Right, dude?
Luckily, my wife wasn't home because she would have heard me scream like a freaking 10-year-old girl. Like, I'm sure I sounded horrible, but I was home alone with earphones on because I was drilling something or cutting something when it happened. And I screamed so loud. I just total blackout, and I thought, oh my God, that was before. Luckily it happened before I painted it, because once it's painted, I'd have to fix all the paint then, so
yeah.
I don't want to ever. The other thing that saved me was if it rolled one way, like my shop is set up so one side is a car and the other side is my shop. So if it rolled off the table on into the garage part, it would have landed on concrete. But it rolled towards me, which I have like this 1/2-inch thick styrofoam from like Home Depot that you put down on the bottom of like
for your
kids'
feet.
toy rooms. Yeah, for your feet. And I think that saved me a little bit too. But Jesus, man, I don't want to do that again. I just no.
Yeah, I got it. This one right here, dude. I can't wait till they get it back together, because I don't even like go walking in that room. I've got it sitting on its temporary stand that Jim actually built it on. Luckily, I didn't throw that out,
Yeah.
So
yeah,
he's like, Can you go all the way through the wall to the other side? I mean, he's like, we got to build this thing where you can hang on that fucker. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I thought I could. It was solid, dude. Because the model's not real heavy. It's not a real.
No, it's not. No, it's a lot of styrene and plastic. It's there's not a lot of weight to it.
But hey, all the little window, and even like the Falcon, because when I bought it from him, I had him put that on after. So he built it with a little magnet, and it's the little. Anyways, and it fell out, but it didn't break. But the one thing, that the little window where you see Luke, Leia, and R2 and 3PO at the very end of Empire when it goes up to a wide shot. That lit up, and he superimposed the characters in there. So when it was lit, you can actually see the characters in there, and that's all.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know how he's going to fix all that, because I remember a long time ago talking to Jason about making it actual digital in there, like he did with the Blade Runner blimp thing. I've been really ass somehow do that.
Yeah.
But, fuck it.
Yeah, I thought all my figures inside would be destroyed, because I mean they're 3D printed, figures, and they're brittle as hell. They're like glass when they break. I thought, oh my God, and all the railings are 3D printed, and it's just I can't believe it didn't just get completely destroyed.
Yeah.
So let's talk about better things than
Let's
that.
change.
So. You're bringing up PTSD with me. You know what I mean? So,
Sorry about that, dude. Sorry about that.
are you thinking of coming to WonderFest?
I am actually this year. I'd like to come and see all you guys for sure.
Yeah, there's a lot.
It's definitely like an every other year deal for me. You know.
It's yearly for me now.
It's so hard to get there. It's so hard for
Yeah.
all you guys usually because y'all are bringing shit. But I definitely would like to have a key model that's going to be there. That's going to be my model.
Yeah, it's 10-hour drive for me.
Yeah,
10 hours. Yeah,
that's a pretty good drive.
Yeah, there are a lot of guys and girls. I think there's a few girls too, coming from Nerf herders.
Good.
There's guys talking about coming over from Germany too, and if John Simmons doesn't come over this year to come with me, I'm gonna kick his ass because he told me last year he was coming. He ended up not coming. We had this plan to make this road trip from Pennsylvania to Kentucky, and we're doing it this year. Like he's coming.
You flew all the way over there to see him, right?
That's right. Right.
Come on, John. No pressure now.
Let's go.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm gonna.
I really look forward to meeting him.
So I want to tell a funny story. When we met, right? We met at Celebration. Yeah, me and you.
Yeah, when we met for the first time, I met your son and knew it was your son. I said, "You have a dad named Chris?" Because you looked just
that's what I wanted to talk about. Like you walked into the hotel and my son was at the desk, right? And you walked up to him and you'd never seen him before.
Never.
You didn't even know his name. Never
and it could be any freaking hotel.
Could have been any hotel.
At Celebration.
Right? Yeah. And in Anaheim. And you walk up to him and you're like, "Are you Chris's son?" And he goes, "Yeah. How do you know?"
Yeah.
And it's just it was mind blowing that it was mind blowing that you knew. I mean, he looks a lot like me. I mean, he does. He looks a lot like me.
Yeah, he's a good kid. You had a couple of them there, but yeah, it was awesome meeting you in person. You know, it was really cool.
Yeah, it was cool. We didn't get to spend too much time together that weekend.
No.
It was crazy. I had my kids, and you had your kids were there too, right?
Yeah, Haley and
your daughter.
Were there. Yes.
Yeah.
I remember being able to talk and how I just remember how humble you were because I was struggling with my mom. She was still alive, and it was really tough then. And I just remember me and you had some really good talks, some really good conversation where I knew that this was a friendship that was going to last a lifetime.
So, we always keep it real.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I got no problem telling you to go fuck yourself sometimes. You know. So.
I love you too, brother.
Yeah, but you should come to WonderFest. I think it's going to be. It's a big deal, but I think a lot of people are. When you get on our Facebook group, there's a lot of great builders on there. There's some guys on there that even blow me away, like Hacker. His name's Steven Hacker. He's from Germany. He just builds. Oh my god, dude! Like he does a lot of he takes a lot of DICE Falcons and does them in different configurations. Like he made the one from Solo where it's destroyed, and you may have even seen it on YouTube. Like his stuff blows me away, and Felix doesn't post much on there, but he's an amazing builder as well. He's building the Slave One from Kit Part Form. You gotta come on. Just come on, interact.
Yeah, it'd be good. It's a madhouse over there, and it's so. But with all you guys going, I mean, we're on the same level, and because when Jason they get there, they got all these itineraries, and I can't keep up with all of them. So I'm like, I'll meet y'all back.
Well, it was different this year. Like Quincy knew there was going to be a lot more people there, so it was less planning. It was like, hey, we're going to go to this restaurant. And everybody would just show up there. It wasn't like I think before. I think it was like
That's a
reservations
fucking
and this and that.
nightmare.
Yeah.
Nightmare.
I'm sure it's tough to plan out for like how many people are going to be there.
Oh
And
yeah,
you don't
all
want to
these
like,
different people and personalities. Yeah, I know Jason and Mike and of course Joseph, and
Yeah.
that's just and then the other people. I met with some really kick-ass dudes there, all of them. You know,
I want to
So-
meet Lauren Peterson. I'm
Yeah.
dying. He's the one person I want to meet really, really badly.
I'll tell you what, man.
And I was going to come to that. I was going to come to that year.
I remember.
Yeah. I don't remember why it fell through. Something made it fall through. I don't remember what it was, but
this was perfect. The way you showed up with what you showed up with, and instant respect. You know, everybody invited you in to hang out with the. You know, let's be real, for what we do. I mean, there's a million, talented model makers in that show at WonderFest, but our key group of people and the stuff that I like to buy. I mean, you were welcomed in with open arms to be a part of that group.
Oh yeah, that was fun. Like I'll be honest, I'm not gonna lie. When I was thinking about going, like I didn't know a lot of people, right? I didn't know a lot of Jason's friends. I didn't know a lot of other people who were there, and I kind of was wondering, would I be kind of hanging out by myself, or would I, because everybody hangs out with their friends and, people and you kind of stay with, but it was not like that. It was so like everybody was talking. Like it was very open and just, it wasn't that at all. Like it was blew my expectations away. And, I went by myself. So I was kind of, and I didn't really know Jason that well. I mean, I spoke to him a couple times. And Joseph is the only one I really knew well. I knew Benjamin and Robin as well. They're great people.
Yes.
But other than that, I didn't know anybody. Like I got to know Brian Babbage. He's a great guy. Quincy and what was Lauren? Oh, I can't remember his last name. But there were so many people there that I got to know that, just so many talented people that just made you look at their stuff and go, holy crap, dude. Like,
just can't wait to go back down there and look at that shit.
I do. I'm looking forward to going this year. And like I said, I think it's going to be a lot bigger.
Yeah.
I think there's going to be a lot of people come.
I know what you're looking at building, what your plan is. I'm not sure that everybody that's watching now or in the near future know what you're going to be doing, but do you have another, besides that one, do you have another Grail model, whether it's something that was seen in the original trilogy or other shows that you want to build, even non-Star Wars related, that you have that you want in your radar?
I'd like to build stuff, but I got somebody taking up all my time with a freaking concept app.
Hey, dude, no comment there. I'm going to tell you right now, I want a 5 foot at it. I want one of those two. No, I want a 5 foot Falcon.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm going to build one. I'm not, I have to wait till my one son moves out. When he moves out, I can knock a wall down and have room to display that. I can't do it right now, but I am going to try. I don't know if I'm going to succeed or not, but I started building a McCory concept sail barge, actually 2 of them. But with the way my job is, as of right now, I wouldn't have time.
You're going to make 2 at once?
Yeah, I'm making 2 at once. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And my job actually might slow down a little bit. Things might change in January, so I may have enough time. I would love to bring that as well.
That would be, because I remember you wanted to have it this last one. Yeah,
I did. I wanted to, but my stomach's big. My eyes are bigger than my stomach. You know what I mean? And
I get it.
and I'd like to, but I mean, it's only 6 months away, and I still have to finish the tracks for the Sandcrawler, and there's something else. There's another themed thing that's supposed to happen, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to finish that. But the reason why I bought 5. Well, I guess we're doing we're taking the DeLorean and making different things out of DeLorean. Okay. And my idea. It's like Jason built stuff, took parts from the DeLorean and made something, and other people are taking parts from the DeLorean and making them into Star Wars ships. Like Bill George has a really cool one. I don't want to.
Oh, okay. So
unveil
that's
anything.
what it is this year. That's what the concept
Yes.
thing is this year. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Badass.
Yeah.
But what kind of a model DeLorean or a real
DeLorean? It's a Bandai one. I guess it's a newer one. It's about this big. My idea. Well, it wasn't my idea. It was Benjamin's idea. He came up with the idea, and I said, if you're not going to do that, I'm going to do it.
You might want to not say it.
Oh, it's okay. No big deal. If somebody else does it, it's fine. I don't care. If somebody wants to try it, that's fine. I'm not like that. So I bought 5 of them. Okay. But I got one.
That's funny.
I got one, and I'm still waiting the other 4 because, you know, the probe droid pods, right? They're 5-sided. I'm going to do the DeLorean at like a probe droid pod. Like, you follow me?
Yes.
Like the body. There's going to be 5 bodies in an octagon, not hexagon, right? Hexagon 5. Is that right? Or is that 6?
Yeah. Oh, I don't know.
Hexagon is 6. Hexagon is 6. I don't know what 5-sided is, but you know the probe droid pods, right? They're the 8 rad.
Yes. Yeah.
Tops. So I'm going to do 5 of those and make it look like a probe droid pod.
Oh.
So
That'd be cool. That'd be cool.
Yeah. I don't know how it's going to turn out, but that's the idea I have. Pentagon. That's it. Pentagon.
That's really cool.
I don't know how I'm going to do it yet, but I'm going to put the bodies together in 5 sides and then start gluing stuff on to make it look like the probe droid pods. You know, those 2 little probe droid pods.
Yeah. I like the year. Yes, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Okay.
Yeah, so the I remember the one year they did I think it was the McQuarrie ship. So they had like the snow speeder, and everyone did these other different type of really cool. That's I think when he did the sand crawler. But
they did Joe Johnston ones, I think.
Oh, is that
Joe
what
Johnston
they were?
Concept. Yeah, they were Joe Johnston concept.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then another year, which would have been cool to have him there, they did Colin Cantwell. Maybe they did have Cantwell there. I don't know.
They did. I think they did do I think you're right because they showed me pictures of
Jason's supposed to be making me he's making it and I'm buying it, but I get that stuff from him. But the X-Wing, you know.
Yeah, he said he's going to do those. He's going to make those available to try to.
Yes, and then
I want to do them as well. Yeah, I want to do those as well.
Mm-hmm.
And is Salzo? Did Salzo start your Cantwell's cruiser? Did I send?
He hasn't yet. No, he's had it all that time. It's when you sent it.
Okay.
But he's working on my deal. He's finishing up Joseph's Death Star, and then he's working on my Death Star too.
Oh, you know what? I gotta send pictures to you.
Right.
John Eblin.
Mm-hmm.
You know John Eblin?
Mm-hmm.
He made me a one of those Milanos from Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh, really? Oh, you know what? I think wait, you didn't tell me about that one. Yeah. What's the other ship that you wanted real bad and I think you got it? It's non-Star Wars related.
I want the Firefly.
That's what it is. You didn't get that yet?
No. What I did do though was I got this piece of acrylic engraved, and it has the names. It's about, I don't know, 1.5 feet wide and like 1 foot high, and it has engraved all the actors' names on it with a line. And I've gone around and had each one of the actors sign it in person.
Very cool.
Yeah, except Nathan Fillion. I'm waiting for him. But when it comes to signatures don't mean nothing to me. Okay, they just don't. Like unless they mean something to me if I meet the person.
Yes.
And have that interaction. Like I'm not
100%.
just going to buy a signature online that, a signing just, people like that. And that's fine. I'm not putting it down, but that's not for me.
Yes.
Yeah. Like
I'm the same
I
way.
have a whole bunch of Steeler helmets signed, but I met every single one of those players.
Like big, like full-size helmets?
I have one full-size helmet, which was Ben Roethlisberger, but I have a whole bunch of little mini helmets that a whole bunch of Steeler players have. I got a whole bunch of little mini helmets that are signed by, but I've met every one of those players. They're great. They're great.
Do you remember when we were little kids? They had those helmets.
The gumball ones, yeah.
No, not the gumball ones. They not the gumball ones. I do remember those too, but they had some like the bigger size, and I think you could buy like a slushy or something with them. I don't know if it was through 7-Eleven, but they were actual like. Do you remember?
Yeah, they were tops. They were tops of the cups, right?
Yes.
You think? Yes.
They're
yes.
badass. I don't remember, but they were full helmets. They were real little helmets.
Yeah, I collected all the little gumball ones that came, 25 cents in the turn thing. Yeah. My mom and I would collect them all. I had the whole league, and then her and I painted this. Well, we used crayons, but we made the whole league a plaque of it. I wish I still had that, but I don't. It's gone, long gone. But I have a lot of the helmets still.
You'd never know though in football. Don't want to get off football, but my daughter Haley, her favorite NFL football team is the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Right.
Yeah.
I was just at the game last weekend.
Yeah, I remember you told me you were going. I'd love to go see a game. That's really cool.
It's amazing. Yeah. It's amazing. Yeah.
Yeah. That's
that's not. We're off models.
I know. It's easy to do. That's easy.
It's easy to do. Yeah. We have gone in over an hour.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, that's fine. We can cut it down whenever you're ready.
Yeah, I think we should. What time is it for you?
It is about 10:50. It's 10:50 here.
Okay. Yeah, this whole time thing threw me off.
Yeah, so it's 11:50. It's almost midnight your time.
No.
What you're used to. What you're used to.
What I'm used to. Yeah, it's midnight. And actually, I forgot I was supposed to call my wife, but I didn't. It's 9 a.m. here, 9 p.m. And I'm like, wow, I'm ready for bed.
Shoot her a text.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad I was able to hop on, and I love hanging out with you, Chris. And definitely next time, maybe we can have Joseph and Jason and all those crazy guys,
Yeah, I wish I could get like everybody on, but like, you have people in England who are sleeping at night when we would do it at night. Sometimes Marvin will jump on at night to try to interact with some Americans.
It's tough because of the time.
It is. And then like I go on in the mornings with like John and Marvin and maybe a few other English guys. But I don't want to like keep it separate. I want to like try to like integrate people who don't usually get to converse. Like you've never talked to Simmons and like,
I'd love
it's like you'd love him. Like he's just he's a lot of fun.
We have plenty of time now to start planning ahead. And I know all you guys are going to go, and I know Joseph will be there, and seeing Jason and Mike, it's usually, I'm sure I'll see Salzo here. He'll come and stay over at my place because we got to work on the Avengers, some of the lighting and stuff in there. But I would love to.
Good evening, guys. This is the first time I've been able to catch y'all live. Chris Starkiller, your collection is absolutely epic, brother. I definitely enjoy your videos. Yeah, your videos are great.
Thank you.
I watch all of them. I've seen all of them, and you have a ton of viewers for not like advertising yourself.
Yeah, I don't
like
at all.
It grew organically,
Yes, it did. That's exactly what it did.
There are people on YouTube who pay for subscribers.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
But if you do it organically and let it happen on its own, like it's it's so much more of an accomplishment than, hey, I'm going to pay for these bots. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, the thing is that,
yeah,
that a lot of these people that do it, I don't care what the content is, if it's Star Wars related or whatever it is out there, and you know what I'm talking about, Chris. They're all out there. They're the fulfillment is always going to be just for themselves getting some free shit. It's never gonna. They're never going to be YouTube millionaires. And the craziest thing is, though, I am surrounded at the Dark Side Brick Oven Pizza Company. I have. I'm not bullshitting you. I've got 4 YouTube millionaires that live in the little town of Bernie, Texas, and they were the ones, and they're not Star Wars related, obviously, but I mean, one of them, Black Rifle Coffee to Demolition Ranch. I mean, all these guys, it's crazy seeing how these guys started out and the following people have created, But thank you for the compliment for sure, and it has been a little bit since I've done a video tour, but I've got a big motorcycle collection, and I've got my gallery that we just built, but I'm building a huge Predator set with a life-size Huey helicopter and stuff at Dark Side. It's going to be our lounge, and we're working on that right now. But once all this stuff settles in, I'm definitely going to go back and shoot a really nice video for my home gallery, because this is where all the inspiration comes from to do everything that I do. So
right. Yeah, the YouTube thing, I mean, I understand people do make some money off of it, but
yeah, for sure.
Like our little community, like I don't know how many subscribers I have. I have no idea, but like
that's what
I'm never gonna make money off of it. I'm not doing it for money. I don't get free stuff. Like I get relationships from this. I get people that I become friends with and form connections with people that that I wouldn't normally do it that normally wouldn't happen had I not done this channel. Like I'm not getting free stuff. I'm not getting, any perks out of this other than meeting cool ass people who are creative and teach me that I can suck all the information out of, So
yeah, this looks like a really non-drama channel, which I really, really like. But yeah, these things are really good for making friends and long-term relationships, no doubt. So.
Right, exactly. That's what that's honestly all that I've ever wanted to get out of this, So, but I do joke around with my wife and tell her how famous I am. I tell her, watch out for the paparazzi that they're following us. She's like, you're fucked up.
Yeah. So, but I'll tell you what.
But
this modeling deal is very fucking expensive. Excuse my language. It's it's crazy, and what sucks about the models on this level, Chris, is no matter how good you are, they're always breaking. You know what I mean? Every one of my freaking models, I got to move over here. Oh shit! I just hit the, it's just. Luckily, I'm
Joseph.
good at fixing little shit. Oh yeah. That's on a whole other level. That's hilarious.
Every single model Joseph gets is broken. Actually, I sent him an A-wing that did not break anything. I sent it without the wings on it and the rings in the back.
Yeah.
And the guns. Like I left it so that he could glue it in when he gets it. Nothing broke. I was so happy.
The only thing I can think of, and I hope he sees this, is I think that one day he fucking really pissed off his FedEx driver or something, like when you deliver the package, can you just, last time it showed up broken. So I'm just asking, when you deliver it, can you please be careful with my package? Yes, sir. No problem. Fucking, I can just see it
putting it into the next stadium.
Fuck, I'll show you fucking.
Yep, exactly.
He's hilarious, dude. Love that guy.
Yeah. Yeah, I like Joseph. I like when Joseph's on. I talk to him at least every couple of days.
Yeah. It's been about a week. I haven't talked to him in about a week, and that's crazy. But yeah, it's funny because his collection's so diverse. Compared to like you're still in the Star Wars in the model realm, where he collects just all kinds of shit. So it's crazy.
Yeah, he collects everything, like every IP, every single. NASA and like Fifth Element and God, I don't even. He tells me, he brings up certain things like the one mech, the red mech robot he got from a guy at WonderFest, and don't get me wrong, it's freaking gorgeous. Like, it's absolutely stunning. But I'm looking at him like, damn, Joseph, is there anything you don't buy? Like,
I know. He's got shit everywhere.
I have to stay focused. I need to stay
yeah.
focused. I can't, like, I love Aliens and Predator, but I have to stick with Star Wars or else it'll just get out of hand. Like, it would be, I'd be building drop ships and tanks from Aliens and you know, and the Narcissus from Alien, you know what I mean?
It's badass.
I gotta stay. I gotta stay.
Me and Joseph are really lean on each other a lot when it comes to what we spend on some of these damn models. We make ourselves feel. We call each other and, how much did you pay for that? No. He's like, shit, because it's always like, should I get this? You know, and I'm like, well, I just spent this, so yeah, you should. But we're always back and forth on that, dude. It's like, fuck, you know. But I like some of the Star Trek models are badass, you know.
In this group, though, we pride ourselves on spending other people's money, by the way.
Yeah, you fuckers always, hey, I know. Let's say Mikey. Mikey will do it. You know what I mean? You, Jason, all you got. Hit me up.
Yeah. But you know what? It never fails. It never fails. Whenever, all right. So, like, you know, whenever you get a little extra money in your pocket, right? You're like, okay, I'm good. You know, if something comes along, you know, I'll have some money to buy this kit part or this kit or something. And then it won't happen if you don't have the money. But the second you sell a model and you have a little bit of cushion, something comes along and it's like, oh yeah, I've got it. It's like, it's just, and then it's gone. Like, you're back at square one. It doesn't, it's bad. I was surprised that I was.
I'm sorry, Chris, cut you off.
No, I'm surprised. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, it doesn't matter on what level of money you have to spend, because it's all relative on the level. It's all relative. So it's, you know, what those certain little things do for you, you know, whether it's this one model, because like you just said, and Joseph has the same problem as I do. We just have so many things. It's just too many projects, you know, and in my lifetime, I'm 55, dude. I mean, I'm very limited on what I can get done, you know? So I'm trying to create a plan right now, you know? So,
dude, I got X-Wing in line. I got TIE Fighter in line. I got Slave One in line. I got 2 sail barges in line. I got TIE Bomber, TIE Interceptor. Like, I have all the parts to do these things. I just don't have the time. You know, like, they're all in individual boxes waiting for me to jump on them. And I have everything I need. It's just, you know,
that's why I have people like you build that shit for me. It's fun, dude. I love that shit, you know?
Yeah.
I love it, what you did, man. I'm really looking forward to the AT-AT. So
I'll be honest with you. At first, when I started building these things, I built them because I didn't want to pay the money to have somebody else build it for me. I wanted to save the money and build it, and I felt like that would be enough for me, right? But what I found is I really enjoy getting pieces that are made by my friends. Yeah. So I can see how they did it, learn different ways of building, different ways of painting, different, you know, all around everything. And they are actually some of my favorite things in my collection. Like I look at some of mine, other than my Sandcrawler, like the Slave One and the Falcon, and they're important pieces to me. But I almost value the ones that are made by my friends more so.
I understand. Maybe. You know, but that fucking Sandcrawler, bro, you did it, dude. And I like even like the Falcon, how you did it with the, you know, going through the asteroids and shit. I loved that. You know, I love
you know those asteroids. When people come over to my house and they see those asteroids and they pick them up and they're like, "What the hell?" Like,
is it foam?
It's foam.
Yeah.
And all you do is you spray it with an aerosol can, right? Like a primer, a black primer or something, and it eats away at that foam.
Oh yeah.
And makes all the little pits inside of it.
Yeah.
it really works really well. But yeah, I have to tell you, when I made that Falcon, okay, I put it on a little um, camera stand, right? A little one of those little pan of ice camera stands. And I had it tilted, right? Like on a 45. Okay. And somehow, some way, when I set it down, it was balanced so perfectly that it was tilted and the pan of ice was not screwed in anything. And it literally stayed just like that. I could not believe I'm standing there like this with my hands like seconds away from like an inch away from it.
That's
just in case
crazy.
it fell.
So the little
I couldn't believe it. I'll never.
It was balancing.
Yeah, it was balancing on this little 1.5-inch circle.
Yeah,
on the ground.
You're talking about. That's crazy.
That's it. I will never be able to do that again. Somehow I
Yeah.
had it like perfectly
That's
lined
cool.
up that it literally stood like this without falling, front, back, side. I couldn't believe it. I wish I'd have taken a video or picture because nobody will ever believe me. So yeah, but
well, hopefully we'll get you over here sometime. You know, I'd love to maybe bring your wife over here because y'all have a good time here versus your wife going to WonderFest. I don't think she'd enjoy that much, but I know that you guys would enjoy Texas here.
She brings it up every now and then, coming to visit you.
Yeah,
because she likes warm weather. She won't come now because it's winter. It's cold there, probably, right?
She'll click, and then y'all can come to the restaurant, and then we can cook steaks here at the house too. You know,
my wife. When I went to WonderFest, my dog died the day before I left. Right?
Oh man!
And
I remember.
I had to put her down. It was like she had an emergency. We had to take her emergency vet visit, and she had a tumor on her spleen that ruptured and filled her stomach with blood. So we had to put her down right then and there. And I was a mess.
Okay. I remember I took you that day.
Yeah. And I had a 10-hour drive by myself, right? And she's like, listen, I'll just come with you to WonderFest.
Aww.
And I said to her, honey, I really appreciate that you're willing to come, but I know you're going to be bored out of your freaking mind.
Yeah.
I said,
then you start feeling pressure and shit.
Yeah, then I'm worried about her and, that she's bored or that she's not having a good time. And I said, look, honey, I love you. Thank you so much for offering, but I probably would have a terrible time if you came. Not because she would make it terrible, but because I would feel so bad.
Total sausage.
Yeah,
you wouldn't want to be there.
I think Robin was the only girl there.
I know, exactly.
She's a cool chick, yeah.
Hey, one thing I'm gonna say is when you're there, I'm sorry, I'm just gonna call it out. I'm not calling out specific people. I'm just saying it. Man, there's a lot of stinky ass fucking people in there, dude. I've never smelled BO. They need to have like a sponsor, like a speed stick or something. That's the one
thing. There's definitely a type of person there. It's a lot of older, bigger gentlemen with gray long ponytails and suspenders holding up jeans that probably they bought 30 years ago,
some sweaty ass balls because it fucking stinks.
Yeah but that's in the other room.
Cool models. It is the other
in our room.
Yeah,
it is the other room, right?
It's
it's the 3D printed statues of
You better watch yourself. You better watch out.
It's those kind of collectors.
I didn't say that, dude.
I didn't smell that much BO because I stayed in Jason's room. I went over that room for like 15 minutes and came back. There was nothing there of interest for me.
Yeah.
So like Jason, where we were at for Jason's room is where I spent most of my time. And it wasn't, that part smelled much better. So
yeah.
Man,
I wish
you're not wrong, brother.
I wish I could have something there. I don't know, like a calamari ship done, or you like that, huh? And or a falcon, or just something.
Yeah.
You know what I really would love to do? I just,
What?
but can you imagine if I could bring the Avenger there?
Oh my God.
That would be fucking badass.
Well, your frigate was there.
Yeah, the frigate was there. That's how I ended up with it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks to Joseph.
Well,
I'm like, dude,
I would say you could bring your concept AT-AT to race Eaton and I, but your concept AT-AT is going to look extremely identical to my concept AT-AT. So
yeah, don't worry. I'm not doing that.
There's really not much difference.
Yeah, honestly. I would like to have something like really like like all you guys. Y'all want to have something there that pops, And I'm not, I wish I could say I built it, but I'm proud if it's one of you guys that built something there for me, because I know it's my shit, But
when I went, I didn't know what to expect. I brought 3 models and the sandcrawler. Yeah. And I had originally asked Eaton, I was like, do you think you might have room for me to bring my sandcrawler? He's like, I don't really know, because a lot of people were going to bring stuff. And so I kind of went there without any idea what was going to happen. And I'll be honest, I did not want anything to do with the contest. It wasn't.
Oh, no, yeah,
I'm not bringing things there to put in a contest at all.
No, I know that.
But I brought 4 models all together and ended up only putting out my sandcrawler for the first 2 days. And then I brought Slave 1 down, and I had 2 other models up in my bedroom.
Yeah, a lot of people that walk through there has never seen that shit before,
No.
And then they're like, holy shit,
and Jason even said to me, he's like, why didn't you bring this Slave 1 down? I was like, I didn't really want to impose. It wasn't my table. I didn't want to so, and I had brought the concept AT-AT there too. And he didn't even see that. And I kind of wish I'd have brought that down, because that's pretty.
Well, when we get off the air, ask me about what about WonderFest, because I got an idea what I might do. And I'll tell you.
Okay. Well, let's end it.
Okay. Yeah, and I really hanging out with everybody in the chat. I know there's a few of them right now. Anyways, I know everybody will be catching up tomorrow on it. But keep doing what you do, Chris. It's awesome.
These are all guys in our group: Jerry, Scott, Chris Gear. I think that's how you say his last name, Gear. Brian's in our group. Steve Deppa is in our group. These are all guys in our group. They're these are guys that make it roll. I just started it. Like, honestly, I just started it. These are the guys. These guys make it happen. These guys are what keep it going. These guys are the ones that make it good, that make it worth what it is. Yeah. Let's see. What did Steve say here? Chris does the Lord's work, and I don't do that much. I started a concept AT-AT with someone else, and going to use the Merlin legs that will be modified. What are you using for the legs, Chris? For concept, the concept AT-AT we're talking about is a tank. It's a Joe Johnston concept AT-AT. It's not. It doesn't have legs. It
looks like a sandcrawler.
It looks like a sandcrawler. It looks like a his tank from G.I. Joe.
Yeah. It does.
Yeah.
It does.
It does. Yeah.
Hey, check this out before we get off. Hang on.
Okay. So, does that clear things up, Steve? Or am I missing it?
So up at Dark Side, I've been putting, I love the toys, but look what I just bought.
Oh yeah, there it is, his tank.
Isn't that funny?
Yeah. It's so much like that.
It is, right?
So much like that.
That's so cool. But yeah, I don't know what's
I could
going
show
on
a picture of mine. I could show a picture of mine.
Yeah, show a picture real quick.
I'm gonna have to try to do it this way.
Did you ever have these things, Chris? I know you're my age and you were deep into the Kenner stuff, but did you get into the GI Joe at all?
Not really. I had some, but not really. That was
our
like later 80s.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was later 80s. What, like 84, I think. I think by that time I'm 50.
Okay. Yeah, I'm 55.
So after Jedi, I started, girls were my fixation by that time. Let's see. What am I looking for here? I'm looking for the concept that actually tons of people have already seen this on the group.
Yeah, but it never gets old, dude.
Let's see. How do I find it? There we go. I hope. Okay. Are you guys? Oh, I didn't share my screen yet. You know, it never fails. Whenever I'm looking for something, I can't find it. But it pops up in front of me all the time when I'm not looking for it, right?
You know what, Scott? That question, I wonder too. When I was holding this thing up, I wondered if they did that too, if they copied it.
Ah, there's a good picture. I can show both of them. And we will share, present, share screen, window. Damn. Yep, there it is. I'm getting better at this.
Dude.
There it is. There's yours in the front, mine in the back. I still need to weather it a little bit and do the misting of gray, which will tone down this blue.
Okay.
But other than that,
man,
she's ready to go. And the tank is painted up. I just have to mist that as well and put snow on it.
How do you put snow on it?
I buy I forget what the name of the company is, but it's an already made snow in a little like jar, and then it's wet, and then you pack it into the corners and then let it dry, and it solidifies. So you could actually drive it and the snow won't come off of the tracks.
Nice.
So yeah, let's see if I can
That's
zoom in.
Fucking
yeah.
Cool. Do you have that on yours?
Yeah. So you can see it in the corners here, like right in here, there in these little spaces.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
See how yours looks a little more blue once I spray it with a gray.
It looks new. Yeah, it looks new.
Yeah. This is before I weathered it a little bit.
Oh, you've already weathered it since this picture?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and you can see like the paint chipping in right around here. I don't know if you can see that on your screen.
Yeah.
You can see it there too, and on the edges back here. So yeah.
Yeah, that's fucking really cool, man.
And this has cool shade back here on top of here.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Like this over here.
Yeah.
It's a great little kit. Like I think honestly, like people should if you can get it. It's fun. It's there's no reference other than the picture. You know, the picture you could the drawing you could get kit parts close to it. You don't have to be exact. You can do whatever the hell you want paint wise. All three of us, Andy and John and I, made these, and all three of them look very different. Different parts, different ways of making things. Oh, my wife just texted me. All right. I got to run. But yeah, different colors and everything. So, but.
Yeah, it's easy to get.
All right, let's end it.
Sounds really good. Well, guys, we'll look forward to seeing you guys again in the chat. And nice to see you, Chris.
We'll have you on.
Hello, goodbye. What's up, Matt?
We'll have you on again a lot more, Mike.
You know I'm available. You guys take it easy.
I know. All right.
Good night.
See. Good night. Let's see.